Independent artists are building a fantastical universe inside of my favorite metaverse over the reality. Stay tuned to see 13 different examples from 12 different artists. This is episode 14 of Reviewing AR. Hello, my name is Alexis Mercedes. I am the project manager for Fractal Labs. We are an app development team that is passionate about improving the UX of XR. On this channel, we document the intersection of Web3 and AR as it unfolds. On this episode, I'm going to show you screen recordings from AR experiences on an app that is free called Over. Here's a sneak peek of everything I'll go over. The Joker, as you've never seen him before. Virtual Fitness's Hall of AI, a museum exhibit, a new kind of Shark Tank, a tribute to Mom, a girl with her keyboard, hidden treasure, a fruit stand and some tapas, chickens at a bus stop, a watercolor you can walk into, a new game from Metagate, and parts of an Android for sale. I like the idea they've put forth here of using AR to create a skin of a building. With the proper application of mapping, you could actually fix this facade to an actual building, viewable in AR. The scale and realism of this art piece makes it sufficiently creepy. It captures the feeling of this character without broaching the IP. How cool would it be if these slot machines were interactive or Batman themed? The shaking you see here is me tapping on the screen, trying to get these NFTs to open in the web browser. Let me know if you want help adding external links to your Over experience. It's actually pretty easy and I'd be happy to help you through the process, so hit me up. We can link that to your OpenSea or wherever it's sold. Over recently revealed the launch of their AI integration that they've been teasing for quite a while now. So it's suiting that more builds will be named after AI integrations. If you have a custom app of your own and want to start integrating AI capabilities, our dev team is here to do that for you. Our friend Virtual Fitness is always climbing, jumping, and swinging off things in real life. So this experience is very on brand for him. Overall, it just keeps giving me more and more surprises. This particular statue seems a little bit out of place, but overall, I think they did a great job collaging together different 3D models to create a single cohesive aesthetic. It was a fun way to interact with Virtual Fitness remotely. I love finding museum exhibits in AR. History and culture can be brought into your living room. As demonstrated here, for the fraction of the cost, you can build and share immersive exhibits. Share them remotely, get super close to the art without any risk of damaging the originals. And you can provide interpretation in any language. But where's the fantasy? The creators could have built anything, and they gave us something that could have been done in real life. So that was a choice. Soon we'll see AR enhancing physical museum exhibits, and yes, you can hire me to help. Number 4 on our list today is another creation from luxvr. Sometimes an AR experience is just simple and fun. Here is an animated shark smoking a pipe. Another treat from luxvr that I find very delightful. Look at it move. 5. This experience is unhinged, deeply personal, and I'm here for it. In this publication, I'm surrounded by family photos, including dogs, dog crotches, and a statue that gives the Mother of Honor some serious Lara Croft vibes. Several of these are slideshows, which is a cool effect. The music sounds like Christian soft rock, which is a mood, and some of the images are sideways. You can feel the love and chaos of a happy family home, and I'm touched that I got to witness it. It feels voyeuristic to be here. If you want your over publications to be private, there is a way to do it through token gating, which is simpler than it sounds. And I can hook you up with someone who could help if that's something you're looking for. Wow, look at this. Have you seen anything like this? They've extruded isolated elements of a 2D image in order to create a 3D model in a way I've never seen before. It's super unique, especially in terms of XR. I'm thrilled to come across this. I just found out it was made by someone in my network, an amazing soul named Ingrid. It's serving a hot take on the lo-fi girl aesthetic. It's beautiful. The music is great and I'm loving all the details. The publisher did some interesting things with the occlusion that is working really well. My one critique is that it's hard to find the correct vantage point. Designing for a proscenium view is counterintuitive to XR, which may be why we don't see it very often. This one is beautiful. It's a vignette with perfectly styled, cohesive artwork. It reminds me of the dioramas we built in school. It looks stunning from several vantage points. The part I found perplexing was this floating object. Depending on where you stand, it changes shape and size. There is an animation that changes the color and texture, but it doesn't appear to be moving. How then is it possible to change the shapes and sizes depending on where I'm standing? The vignette is static, but this part is dynamic, and I don't know how they did it. It made me feel as though I'm being watched. Thanks to parritabrava, there is a fruit stand with fun characters here on this playground. One of my elders checked out the experience behind me and found it to be an improvement to the landscape. They should put more fun stuff here, she exclaimed. This demo's a use case of creative advertising. One, an invitation to AR users to load and witness the magic live. Two, as a branded special effects, shareable anywhere you can post a video. The second experience by parritabrava takes us to a tapas spread. It's a similar way to do product placement, but this one has a different tone. It's hyper real. Look how lifelike the food is. Did someone order room service? Because the model has a small footprint, it makes it easy for the barrel to appear as though it is resting exactly on the floor, even when inside a small room. This is a good way to exemplify some best practices. As designers, we need to imagine where the viewer will view this. The fruit stand looked better outdoors and it has a larger footprint, but the tapas spread looks better indoors, which all takes planning. Speaking of creative advertising, look what I dug up from the most liked section. I usually pull from the most recent section of the app. I happen to know the creators of this experience and heard them talking about this game in a Twitter Spaces. My understanding is that the inventor came from a community that celebrates cockfighting, and they were looking for a way to stay connected to their culture while sticking to their own moral compass, aka not cockfighting. This game is the result. The artwork is extremely high quality, and the elements they chose to frame it are perfect for setting the tone and keeping the branding cohesive. Nancy liked it too. Have you ever wanted to walk into a watercolor painting? Well, now you can. Another low-tech, innovative application, the artist has created an immersive experience of a painting in its own right. This very much reminds me of the immersive Van Gogh exhibit that's very expensive and relies on dozens of projectors in order to transform the space into an immersive painting. This publication is, of course, free, and I hope to see many more of these immersive paintings. This is the first AR version of this I've seen. Last episode, I featured 3 different experiences from Metagate. They're constantly publishing interactive game-like experiences. I've got one to wet your whistle today, but just know they've got lots and lots out there. They're producing them faster than I can review them. This one came to my attention because I was tagged on Twitter. Feel free to get my attention that way. Hopefully these terms and conditions aren't stating that I can't share recordings of this space. It's listed as a game, but the first thing I am presented with is informational videos. The audio is ambient, but lines up with the videos themselves, so you can stop the audio by stopping the videos. The room I'm in is too small for this experience, but I make it work by walking through multiple rooms.
Se sarai scelto come donatore, prima di tutto riceverai una telefonata dal centro donatori. Sarai convocato dal medico, che ti informerà dettagliatamente sulla donazione, ti visiterà e programmerà tutti gli esami.
I'm not sure what I was supposed to be shooting at, but when my timer ran out, I hadn't shot any enemies. This is a scenario where the language barrier causes some trouble. This community is very international, and sometimes there are some hiccups with language. Metagate's portfolio includes experiences that are directly tied to physical spaces, so it might be that we're missing half of the picture because this is an overlay that's supposed to go onto something specific. We're going to end on this beauty: an interactive scene selling spare parts. The artwork and branding is super specific. I love that. Look at the way the texture of the dinosaur lines up with the holographic borders of the space. It's a grandiose scene with statement music that seems to center around this specific character, a cyborg whose special abilities are on display and his parts are being taken because they're for sale. Because it is AR, I can get really close to the model and see all the specific details. This is the first over-publication I've been in that made me feel like I was truly inside a scene from Ready Player One. It's a fun place to end for the day. AR and every other software out there is now augmented with AI. More and more integrations are being revealed every day. As app developers, we can customize AI integrations with your workflow or your custom app. Reach out to Alexis at fractallabs.dev for more info.
I'm still wondering how overusers are going to apply the new AI integrations for this metaverse. One of my daydreams is to have an AI alert me whenever somebody is visiting my space so that I can pop in and say hello to them. Another daydream is to have an AI helper interact with the avatars of visitors so that they can ask questions and get real responses. They could act as a tour guide for whenever I'm not able to pop into the space myself. What do you plan to do with AI in the metaverse? I'd love to hear your comments below.
See you some other Tuesday for more content on the intersection of Web3 and AR. Bye.